Section 680.25 of the National Electrical Code mandates specific wiring methods for swimming pools, spas, and hot tubs. This section requires that all wiring must be installed in a raceway. A raceway is defined as an enclosed channel designed expressly for holding wires, cables, or busbars, with additional functions as permitted in the NEC. Raceways can be metal or non-metallic and include rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, rigid polyvinyl chloride conduit, and flexible metal conduit, among others. The requirement for raceways applies to all wiring associated with the pool, spa, or hot tub, encompassing the main feeder from the outside service disconnect to the lighting and appliance panel board, as well as any feeders extending from the lighting and appliance panel board to the pool equipment panel board. This means that the wiring from the service entrance to the main panel and from the main panel to any sub-panels dedicated to pool equipment must be run within an approved raceway. The purpose of this requirement is to provide enhanced protection against physical damage and to offer a continuous grounding path, thereby minimizing the risk of electrical shock in and around the pool area. The NEC specifically prohibits the use of certain types of cables, such as SCR cable and NM cable, for direct burial or in wet locations associated with pools, spas, and hot tubs, unless they are installed within a raceway. SCR cable, or service entrance cable, is designed for use as service entrance conductors and is typically used to connect the service drop or service lateral to the main service disconnect. While it is suitable for some outdoor applications, it does not meet the requirements for wiring within the vicinity of a pool due to its lack of a continuous equipment grounding conductor and its vulnerability to moisture and physical damage when not installed in a raceway. NM cable, or non-metallic sheath cable, is commonly used for indoor wiring in dry locations. It is not designed for outdoor use or for installation in wet or damp environments. NM cable lacks the necessary protection against moisture, corrosion, and physical damage that is required for pool wiring. The NEC mandates the use of an insulated equipment grounding conductor within the raceway. This conductor must be sized according to NEC Table 250.122 and must be run along with the circuit conductors to provide a low-impedance ground fault current path. The equipment grounding conductor ensures that any fault current will quickly trip the circuit breaker, minimizing the risk of electrical shock. In addition to the raceway and equipment grounding conductor requirements, the NEC also specifies bonding requirements for all metal parts associated with the pool, spa, or hot tub. Bonding involves connecting all metal components, such as the pool reinforcing steel, metal fittings, pump housings, and metal conduit to form a continuous electrical path. This bonding helps to equalize the voltage potential between these metal parts, further reducing the risk of electrical shock. Section 680.26 details the specific requirements for bonding. Firstly, all metal parts of the pool structure, including the reinforcing metal, must be bonded. Secondly, all metal fittings within or attached to the pool structure, such as ladders, handrails, and diving boards, must be bonded. Thirdly, all metal parts of electrical equipment associated with the pool, such as pump motors, filters, and heaters, must be bonded. Fourthly, any metal conduit or piping systems associated with the pool must be bonded. Fifthly, the bonding conductor must be solid copper insulated, covered, or bare, and not smaller than 8 AWG. Sixthly, the bonding connections must be made with listed bonding connectors or clamps. Seventhly, the bonding network must be connected to the equipment grounding conductor of the pool equipment. Eighthly, the bonding network must extend at least 3 feet horizontally from the inside walls of the pool. Ninthly, the bonding network must be buried at least 18 inches below grade. Tenthly, the bonding network must be interconnected to form a continuous loop. The NEC also requires the installation of ground fault circuit interrupter protection for all electrical circuits serving the pool equipment and lighting. Ground fault circuit interrupters, known as GFCIs, are designed to detect small amounts of current leakage to ground and to quickly interrupt the circuit, preventing electrical shock. GFCI protection is required for all 120 volts through 240 volts receptacles within 20 feet of the inside walls of the pool. GFCI protection is also required for all electrical equipment associated with the pool, such as pump motors, heaters, and lighting fixtures. The GFCI protection must be provided by a listed GFCI device, such as a GFCI circuit breaker or a GFCI receptacle. The GFCI device must be installed in a readily accessible location. The GFCI device must be tested periodically to ensure that it is functioning properly. In summary, the NEC requirements for wiring swimming pools, spas, and hot tubs are designed to ensure the safety of individuals using these facilities. The use of raceways, insulated equipment, grounding conductors, bonding, and GFCI protection are all critical components of a safe and compliant electrical installation. The use of SCR cable or NM cable as a wiring method for swimming pools, spas, and hot tubs is a violation of the NEC and should not be allowed. It is important to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that all electrical work is performed in accordance with the NEC and local codes. Using the incorrect type of wiring can create serious safety hazards, including the risk of electrical shock or electrocution. When running power to a pool, spa, or hot tub, several important considerations need to be taken into account to ensure safety and compliance with the National Electrical Code. Firstly, the wiring method must be suitable for wet locations and resistant to corrosion. Secondly, an equipment grounding conductor must be installed to provide a low impedance path for fault current. Thirdly, all metal parts of the pool, spa, or hot tub, including the reinforcing steel, metal fittings, and equipment, must be bonded together to equalize voltage potentials. Fourthly, ground fault circuit interrupter protection must be provided for all electrical circuits serving the pool, spa, or hot tub. Fifthly, the wiring must be installed in a manner that minimizes the risk of physical damage. These requirements are designed to protect people from electrical shock hazards and to prevent equipment damage. It is important to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that all electrical work is performed in accordance with the NEC and local codes. The consequences of not following these requirements can be severe, including serious injury or death. Therefore, it is essential to take the necessary precautions and to ensure that all electrical work is done safely and correctly. In addition to the specific requirements for wiring methods, bonding, and GFCI protection, the NEC also includes general requirements for electrical installations such as the proper sizing of conductors, the use of approved fittings and connectors, and the installation of overcurrent protection devices. These general requirements are important for ensuring the overall safety and reliability of the electrical system. It is important to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that all electrical work is performed in accordance with NEC and local codes. The NEC is a complex document, and it can be difficult to understand all of the requirements. A qualified electrician can help to ensure that all electrical work is done safely and correctly. In addition to the NEC, local codes may also have specific requirements for electrical installations. It is important to check with the local building department to determine what codes are in effect in a particular area. Local codes may be more stringent than the NEC, and it is important to comply with all applicable codes. When installing electrical wiring for a pool, spa, or hot tub, it is important to use high-quality materials and equipment. The wiring and equipment must be suitable for the environment in which they will be installed. The wiring must be resistant to moisture, corrosion, and physical damage. The equipment must be listed and labeled by a recognized testing laboratory. It is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions when installing electrical wiring and equipment. Failure to follow the instructions can result in a hazardous installation. It is important to inspect the electrical wiring and equipment periodically to ensure that they are in good condition. Any damaged or worn wiring or equipment should be replaced immediately. It is important to keep the area around the electrical equipment clean and dry. Water and moisture can damage the electrical equipment and create a shock hazard. It is important to turn off the power to the electrical equipment before working on it. This will help to prevent electrical shock. It is important to call a qualified electrician if you have any questions about electrical wiring or equipment. An electrician can help to troubleshoot problems and make repairs safely. When installing a pool, spa, or hot tub, it is important to consider the location of the electrical equipment. The electrical equipment should be located in a readily accessible location that is protected from the weather. The electrical equipment should not be located in an area where it could be damaged by flooding or other hazards. It is important to provide adequate ventilation for the electrical equipment. This will help to prevent the equipment from overheating. It is important to install a disconnecting means for the electrical equipment. This will allow the power to be shut off to the equipment in case of an emergency. The disconnecting means should be located in a readily accessible location. It is important to label the disconnecting means so that it is easy to identify. The label should indicate what equipment the disconnecting means controls. It is important to install a grounding electrode system for the electrical equipment. This will help to protect people from electrical shock. The grounding electrode system should be installed in accordance with the NEC. It is important to test the grounding electrode system to ensure that it is functioning properly. The test should be performed by a qualified electrician. It is important to keep records of all electrical work that is performed in the pool, spa, or hot tub. The record should include the date of the work, the name of the electrician who performed the work, and a description of the work that was performed. The records should be kept in a safe place where they can be easily accessed. It is important to review the records periodically to ensure that all electrical work is up to date. If any problems are found, they should be corrected immediately. It is important to consult with a qualified pool builder or installer before installing a pool, spa, or hot tub. A pool builder or installer can help to ensure that the pool, spa, or hot tub is installed in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. The pool builder or installer can also help to ensure that the pool, spa, or hot tub is safe and enjoyable to use. Following these guidelines will help ensure that your pool, spa, or hot tub electrical system meets code and operates safely for everyone. Remember that electricity and water can be a dangerous combination, so taking the necessary precautions is essential.